Hi, Chalk Squad, it's Dylan.
From the grave, it's Andrew.
From the grave?
I
That's
died.
So dark. Okay. All right. Well, you know what's not dark? The episode you're about to listen to. Or maybe it is, because here's the deal. The episode you're about to listen to was originally a bonus episode of the show that was behind a paywall. And as part of such, it was not edited or censored or really anything. So I've gone ahead and marked it explicit for the public publishing. It might not be, but I figure we better cover our bases. And I'm not gonna go through and re-listen to all of these to verify. So just have fun with unedited, off the cup, probably drinking alcohol, Dylan and Andrew.
Yeah.
Because
it was a joy to make. I hope it's a joy to listen to.
Yep. So, anyways, enjoy this, guys. Hello and welcome to Candid Commentaries, the bonus show for the Wad Fam Chalk Pod. Today, Andrew and I are trying something different, and hopefully it works. We're going to be going through two different issues of the Clubhouse Magazine from Focus on the Family, because when I was moving houses, I found these in my childhood bedroom and was like, well, I got to make content out of that. So Andrew has the June 2009 issue. I have the July 2009 issue. And Andrew, have you found something from there that you would like to share, read aloud?
Sure. We have a segment of the Clubhouse Magazine. I don't know if this is reoccurring, but it's called Adventures of Average Boy by Bob Smiley as told by Bob Smiley.
Who's Bob Smiley?
By Bob Smiley as told to Bob Smiley.
Oh.
I do not know.
Okay.
Stop yelling, I screamed. You're yelling at me, my brother shouted. Only because you're yelling at me, I replied loudly. I don't like fighting with my brother, but this was very important when we were playing Lego Star Wars on the Wii. What's going on, my dad said, rushing in. He hit me, my brother said. I did not, I said. Well, your guy hit my guy. This was very true. The guy I was playing on the Wii accidentally pulled out his lightsaber, went across the room, and accidentally struck down his partner. Then he did it 3 more times. What can I say? My guy is accident prone. Well, move your guy over to timeout, my dad laughed. Make him sit by Hammerhead for 2 minutes. What? Hammerhead? Is that a character in Star Wars?
I don't know.
Interesting. Dad started to walk out of the room, but then turned around with a smile I'd learned to fear. Interesting. Better yet, Dad said, we're unplugging for a week. No TV, no computers, or that thing that sounds like a face disease. iPod. My brother offered. Yeah, we're turning it all off.
No.
I've never heard as an iPod compared to a face disease, but, you know. Okay. I wasn't worried. I didn't spend a lot of time on those things anyway. I went to my computer to figure out all the different stuff I do. Dad pointed out that the computer was off limits. I never realized that most of my ideas came from Google and not from my actual brain. Why don't you go outside, my dad suggested. Good idea, I said. Where is it? I walked outside and was suddenly hit by an unidentified blinding light. Panic gripped me until I realized this strange new thing was the sun. I guess I remembered the sun, but I hadn't seen it since getting a Wii. Wow.
Amen, man.
Really laying it on thick here.
Yeah.
Boy, all of the Focus people had to buy Wiis for their kids, but they were not happy about it. As I was trying to remember what I did before technology took over my life, something hit me in the head and drenched me with water. I looked over to see Paxton getting ready to throw another water balloon. I also noticed Billy hiding behind a tree with a squirt gun. The rest of the day was awesome. Paxton and Billy and I built a fort, rode bikes, and continued the water balloon fight. When we then apologized to Mrs. Lime, who evidently didn't want to be in a water balloon fight. We finished the day playing wiffle ball. That night I was exhausted, but happy to know that technology hadn't totally zapped my creativity. My friends and I had the most fun being out in God's creation, not glued to a TV or in a dark room. I said exactly what my parents wanted to hear. It was a great lesson. One I couldn't wait to blog next. I'm sorry. Oh, it was a great lesson. One I couldn't wait to blog about on my computer the next morning. Oh wait, I mean next week. So as summer starts, I hope you unplug and go crazy. Don't waste your days sitting inside playing video games and watching TV. Go outside. The graphics are super realistic. Email me at averageboy.org once you're on the computer again, and let me know what you're doing. Give me some tips about where I can find a really big water balloon. I still owe Paxton for that first one. Boy, howdy.
Yeah, man, just we gotta unplug, man. My girl Howie much?
Yeah, exactly. Really, was that something that, like, did your parents limit your screen time as a kid? Like, did they?
Yeah, I'm sure. I also, so I feel like I grew up enough prior to that really being a factor.
Okay.
Or like I don't know, like there definitely was a point in which like screen time was a limited thing, but it was also like, I don't know, like you can only watch 2 episodes of something on PBS. Like you can't just sit in front of like the TV the whole day when you get home. But it was like, so it was like, you know, I had to like be like, okay, well, I'm going to watch Cyber Chase at, you know, make sure to watch Cyber Chase at 4 and then come back for Fetch with Rough Ruffman at 5 or whatever. Like those were,
boy, you
those
got
were the
it.
2 that
Those were the top.
that I
That's
gave
the cream.
priority.
Yeah, if you can only do 2, that's what you're picking for sure.
Right. And so it was just like, I don't know, stuff like that. Or yeah, but there was like a little bit of like playing games on like Miniclip or Nitro or stuff growing up.
Miniclip was huge.
And then
OneMoreLevel.com.
That's not one I know.
I know it was more obscure. It was like it was fairly safe compared to Miniclip as far as not having a ton of like viruses and stuff, or at least my parents thought that it didn't have viruses.
I know Miniclip was viruses.
Again, just things that were said. Was Miniclip, did Miniclip actually have viruses? You know,
it's a web browser, so the answer is no.
Yeah.
Not unless you installed them.
Yeah.
Which, not dumb enough to do.
Brendan did that one time though. That was really funny.
Nice. All right. I've got a section called High Voltage by Bob Smithhauser, which seems to be entertainment related questions asked by children.
I love this.
So, dear Bob, my Christian friends at school are into inappropriate music and TV shows. When I tell them I don't watch or listen to that stuff, sometimes they think I'm weird. What should I do? That's from Alicia B., 12, in Tonawanda, New York.
Oof.
Andrew, how would you respond to Alicia B.?
People say that she's weird for not liking the stuff that everybody else likes.
Her Christian friends listen to inappropriate music and TV shows.
Her Christian friends. Interesting.
Correct. And they call her weird when she says she doesn't want to listen to that stuff.
You know, it sounds like they're not great friends if they're calling you weird, but also, I think maybe I recommend explaining your reasoning as to why you don't like it. That feels like that's the most straightforward answer, being like, I just don't like it. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a disconnect where it's like, for me, I am not very sensitive to particularly vulgar music at all, just because I've heard a lot of it, and it just feels like music to me in the sense that I'm detached from it personally. But like, my dad will listen to something like that, and because he's not as used to hearing certain words used so bluntly, he'll get like really upset about it. So like, I think it's all just a personal preference and perspective thing as far as how much exposure you have to different types of media and music. What do you think, Dylan?
I similarly. I mean, I feel for the kid who's like, I'm like into different stuff than what my friends are into.
Yeah. So
like
so much.
that is, or like
I got
stuff,
made fun of that.
or
a
the
lot.
stuff my friends are into. Like I'm not allowed to take part in or whatever. Like I wasn't allowed to watch PG-13 movies until I was 13.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like, yeah, I mean I get that.
But I feel like most of my friends were in the same boat, where like the
Yeah,
few
it was
exceptions
definitely
to that rule were all universal for all of us.
Sure, yes.
Lord of the
like,
Rings and such.
Yes, like I feel like, right, I didn't ever feel like I was super on the outside with people, or that people really cared that I had different, like there were different requirements for me or whatever. Like that wasn't a thing that bothered me or bothered them.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very this feels very Jesus freak.
Very Jesus freak. Which, I mean, 2009, definitely on the tail end of that impact, but not too far.
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing, is the local Christian radio station still uses a clip from Jesus Freak as, like, a stinger.
Really?
Yeah, I was on a trip with my family not that long ago, and it was like briefly on the Christian station, and they for sure Jesus Freak came on. I was like, oh, we're gonna listen. Like that's funny that they're like doing that on the radio station. Whatever. I like enjoyed that song.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh no, this is just like a short stinger for them to do. Then like Christians around the world are experiencing these things.
Oh,
like it was like
no.
their news stinger. So,
learn about the Jesus Freak. Today's Jesus Freak is blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, now I think we got to talk about how Bob responds here. So, first of all, know that you are awesome. You realize that making Jesus the Lord of your life means putting him in charge of everything, including your entertainment. A lot of Christians, even grown-ups, fail to grasp that. So stand firm and don't lower your standards.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is definitely one way to respond. I mean, it's very supportive, I would say. Not particularly practical as far as like what to do going forward. I mean, he answered the question.
There's more.
Okay.
I was just pausing to discuss this first part, so we don't need to take it from a holistic perspective. But I mean, I struggle with this because I would fall into the
Christians don't care about their media intake enough.
Yeah.
I would say, and
right.
I'm on that side of the spectrum as well.
I definitely am not like, yeah. There is stuff that I won't engage with because I'm like, oh, this is like this. I can see a negative impact on me as a result, but those things are few and far between.
Yeah, like really aggressively pornographic art films.
Sure.
Something like that where you're like, nah.
Yeah.
I could just not.
Right. I'm like there are still lines in my life where I'll hit stuff and be like, no thanks. Like I don't do well with horror movies that have a spiritual component.
Me neither.
Like,
Me
that
neither.
just
Yuck.
It gets under my skin and I go, no.
I get icky.
I'm not gonna like finish this or like whatever. Like I'm like that's not. Yeah, like no, thank you.
I feel the spectral goo. It's
like
yucky.
So it's not like I am a man without bounds.
No.
But I am comfortable making those judgment calls for myself in the moment.
Yeah, I skip through a lot of stuff in shows. Versus
just having blanket rules in place that I won't I won't change on.
Exactly. Yeah. No, whereas like there was, like there were a lot, like I did watch Game of Thrones, which is a notoriously raunchy show. Yeah. But there were parts of it that I skipped through because it was like, I I know this sex scene's probably for the plot, but it's also the third one I've seen this episode, and I just don't feel the need. So I'll skip through it. Or like there's like torturing scenes where it's like really grotesque and just upsetting, and I'm like, I just don't need to upset myself by watching this. Like,
sure. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, know your own limits, which is not something you can really tell to a child.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
children aren't going to know their own limits, but...
Yeah. I know for me, it's very much like brutal torture, and then also sometimes true crime stuff, like, and mental health stuff gets too close to home. Like, some Criminal Minds episodes are okay. Other ones, like, I'm, like, curled up, rocking back and forth on the floor.
Oh, man. All right. Bob goes on to say, with that in mind, you may be able to improve your relationship with your friends. How do you sound when you take a stand? That can make a difference. When we say, sorry, but I don't do that, it's easy to come across like we're judging our friends for not being as wise or as mature as we are. Then they get defensive and make us feel weird for caring about the issue. If this sounds familiar, try to be more casual and less critical as you share your feelings. You don't have to compromise or approve of their choices, just love and accept them as people who still have things to learn, trusting that God will bring them along in time.
That seems beautiful. That is exceptionally good advice.
Well done, Bob. Don't make it an us versus them thing. Just like, yeah. Cool. All right.
That's really, no, I like that take. That's a really good take, especially because he goes into what you might say specifically, and then how that could be misinterpreted. Because like what he said as like an example is very much along the lines of what somebody would say in response, naturally, or at least what I've heard people say in response.
What a child would want to say.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's great advice.
All right. Good job, Bob.
Way to go, Bob. You got another one?
No, we can go back to you unless...
Okay. I don't know if this is the same thing, but it's another question and answer situation.
Is it High Voltage with Bob Smithhauser?
It's called Ask Away.
So no is the answer, Andrew.
Yeah. I believe the answer is no.
It's literally, if it's not called High Voltage by Bob Smithhauser, it's different.
I want
you guys see what I have to put up with?
So much nonsense. I'm trying to figure out who wrote this.
Ask away, Andrew.
Ask away. Question. Whenever I do a math problem at home or at school, I start to chew and suck on the eraser of my pencil. Can you help me stop?
No, I cannot. I am so bad at, like, I don't know how I would respond. I would just say, don't do it.
So, this is actually something I know a lot about.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah, so chewing on things, especially when you're trying to concentrate, is a very big, like, neurodivergent, ADHD, autism, sensory stimulation thing. But even, neurotypical people will often do that as well. So it's actually, it's really common. Like, I'm definitely not neurotypical. Definitely have ADHD, but I chewed on pencils all the time as a kid, and plastic swords and stuff like that. His solution, their solution, because I don't know who's rating the answer here. Put an olive over the eraser of your pencil.
What?
Then you'll be biting on a gross olive instead of a yummy eraser. Just kidding. Olives are delicious. Used funnel-shaped bugles instead.
What?
But seriously, it's important to know how to defeat bad habits. Everybody has them, whether it's biting your nails, popping your knuckles. Is that a bad habit?
Is it socially obnoxious? Probably.
Oh, yeah, no. And my thing is, I crunch so loud that, like, if I crack my back in class, it distracts everybody. We'll see if I can get a good one on mic. I'll see if I can turn up the gain.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Sure.
Not.
Is this ASMR?
I think so. I think it has officially crossed that threshold.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, popping your knuckles or picking at scabs. Yuck. One way to stop a bad habit is to make that behavior have a negative consequence. So if you truly don't like olives or bugles, putting one on your pencil could work. Another idea is to wear a rubber band around your wrist and snap it 3 times when you're tempted to chew your eraser. Which, this is a real thing. Ultimately, you have to replace that bad habit with a good one. Every time you do your homework and don't chew your pencil, you're taking a step in the right direction. If you can avoid chewing on your eraser 10 times in a row, reward yourself with something such as your favorite dessert. Get your parents involved. They'll want to help too, and don't forget to pray and ask for God's strength and power to overcome your habit.
Okay.
That's actually not terrible advice. A little behavioral analysis there. Honestly, if this was my kid, I would just buy them a chewy thing so they could chew on something. But, there's also that.
Yeah. Just strap beef jerky to your pencil.
That sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I would not get any work done. The reason I picked that question is because on the page there is a picture of
of a child eating an olive
off of the tip of a pencil, looking very distraught.
That's wild. Hey Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call a crazy deer?
What do you call a crazy deer, Dylan?
A donut.
That was okay. All right. You got any more?
Why are strawberries bad drivers, Andrew?
Why are they?
They always get into a jam.
They do.
Andrew, a butcher is 6 feet, 6 inches tall. What does he weigh?
A butcher is 6 feet, 6 inches tall. What does he weigh? Flour?
Meat.
Oh, what is
He's a butcher.
He's a butcher.
He's not a baker.
Yeah. Got the joke. That's funny. Oh my god.
Andrew. Why did the lazy sheepdog bark all day?
Why did the lazy sheepdog bark all day, Dylan?
It was trying to make itself heard.
Fair.
All right, you found something exciting, Andrew?
It's called Idle Talk by Gene Bansimer.
Ah, well, we recently, actually it might be this week, released Idle Minds, so perfect.
Yeah, this believes, okay. So
is this a quiz?
Yeah, it's a quiz. We add up our score, and then depending on...
Andrew, you've got to give me the quiz.
Yeah.
Do you have a way to take notes?
I don't have a pen on me.
Okay.
If you give me...
I'm going to give you a notebook and a pen.
I promise not to chew on it. I pinky promise. I might click it, but that's just...
Oh, yeah, you bet your ass you're going to click this one.
Oh, is it real good click? Has it got a real good click?
Dude, that is a...
Ooh!
That is a custom-built Full Metal Action.
That is... Oh. I care about my water and I care about my pens. All right, so before I give you the quiz, I need you to know that, I want to read the categories as to what your results could go.
No,
into.
wait. No.
Or you want to wait until?
No,
afterwards?
I think we need that as a reveal, sir.
Okay.
Do you not understand dramatic tension?
No, actually.
Do you also not understand how to talk into a mic?
No. I forgot that in my 5 years of podcasting. Okay, question 1. If you could look like anyone, you'd choose your favorite actor, actress, or musician, your favorite athlete, the most popular kid at school, or D, yourself.
If I could look like anyone, my options are favorite musician or actor is one option.
Mm-hmm. Actress is also included. Both genders.
Okay. All right.
And then athlete is B.
I don't have a favorite athlete, so that one's out. That's fine.
Popular kid at school, C. D is yourself.
There's not a popular kid. D feels like such a cop-out. I'm just trying to think of what actor or musician I would like to look like. So I'm going to choose A regardless, but I
Yeah.
do feel like I need to come up with like a good, solid answer.
Well, because you know so many actors and musicians.
Right. I'm just like, there's got to be someone out there who I look like and I'm like, ooh, or who I look at and I'm like, ooh, yeah, good looking person. Because I think about like who are the actors who I like the most.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're not necessarily people who I would like to look
like.
But man,
John Mulaney's pretty handsome.
yeah. But I feel like he's not that much of an upgrade.
No.
Like he's not bad looking, but
No.
he looks like a normal
average,
person.
yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, if I'm gonna pick someone, it's got to be someone like
Big.
right, or just like
Somebody
notable.
noticeably hotter.
Yeah.
Jack Antonoff?
Here's the thing, Jack Antonoff doesn't really do it for me.
No, that's okay. All right.
Right. Yeah, I guess maybe the actual play is just pick a woman who I find attractive because that's more my thing.
Yeah. Florence Pugh?
Florence Pugh would not be my first.
I know
if
she
I'm
would
like
be
if
your
I've
first
got to
choice.
pick like hot actress.
No.
Um,
Emma Watson?
I mean, if you really want like who does Dylan think is like an exceptionally hot actress? I mean, Caitlin Deaver's really high for me.
Okay.
As
As known for her roles in
Booksmart.
Oh, okay.
Short Term
Yep,
12.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she is really cute.
Yep. Big fan. She's really good in Unbelievable, which is a rough watch, but like highly recommend. It's a 10-episode series with her and Toni Collette. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
I know we don't really do plugs in bonus content, but there's that one.
Mm-hmm.
Man. All right. I think.
Okay. Well, we've got our.
I think
answer
we'll
for
move
that.
on. That
Yeah.
I'm going to choose an actor or musician to be determined which one. Man, I'm like, I know that there are men in movies who I'm like, oh yes, very nice. But why?
Tom Holland?
Once again, not really my thing. I mean, okay, honestly,
Robert Pattinson.
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield's a great option.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where he doesn't look like unattainably hot.
No, but definitely above.
But he's more hot than what I am.
He's definitely above. A
Yeah.
step above.
All right.
Cool.
Mulaney.
Cool.
I can
That's
go with Andrew
solid.
Garfield.
I'm just gonna write it in there anyway. Andrew Garfield.
There we go. All right. So
Question
that's
number 2. When you see other kids with the latest gadgets, you A, are embarrassed that you don't have as much. B, compare your older model with theirs. C, feel content with what you have. D, really want those gadgets too.
I mean, I can tell what the right answers are. And in this instance, I'm actually going to go with it because I feel like I'm going to go with the C option because I do feel like as a human being, I have a lot of, like, I've got the gadgets I want to have.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot out there that I
Well, you're also a full-grown adult with adult money.
right, I'm an adult with adult money who, like, works in tech and,
Yeah.
like, buys computer stuff that I want. Yeah.
No, I love that. Okay, wonderful. Question number 3. How many hours of TV or movies do you watch each day?
Well, Andrew,
A, 0 to 1 hour. B, 1 to 2 hours. C, 3 to 4 hours. D, 5 or more hours.
well, Andrew, as you know, but the audience may not, I track this stuff religiously. So, would you like to see my all-time or my year-to-date? Year-to-date's probably...
I like year-to-date, yeah.
Year-to-date's probably more relevant just for where I am right now. I feel like that's a good metric to have. So we're talking about hours of TV and movies combined?
Yeah. How many hours of TV or movies?
Okay. So we are currently at... Okay, I'm at 0.4 hours of TV a day and for this year and 0.7 hours of movies a day. So put me at
B, 1 to 2 hours.
B, 1 to 2 hours.
Lovely. A man of taste and culture, but also moderation. Truly a man for all seasons. If you had a larger allowance, Dylan, you'd spend it on A, stuff you've been wanting. B, an outfit your friends would admire. How is that not stuff you've been wanting?
Yeah, it's just a more specific version. Okay.
C, activities you enjoy. Or D, a monthly sponsorship for an orphan.
Stuff I enjoy.
Yeah.
Like
Activities you
activities I enjoy. If I had more money, I would go to more movies, more concerts,
Yeah.
more, like, do more travel, pay for other people to do these things with me.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. I feel like I would probably answer the same thing. Maybe an outfit my friends would admire, but actually, I'm not sure that my friends really like my fashion taste. So, even if I bought something I liked, I don't know that they would like it.
All right.
Okay. How much time do you spend talking on the phone, texting, or communicating online each day?
What are my options?
A, 0 to 30 minutes. B, 30 to an hour. C, 1 to 2 hours. D, 3 or more hours. You can tell this is 2009 and social media has not rotted away the American psyche yet.
Right, but if we're talking about, like, what I would consider, like, communication with... put me in the 1 to 2 hours.
Okay.
I feel like that feels like a safe spot. I also would like to point out that if you are 2 to 3 hours, you're not eligible for this list.
No. If you only are in 2 to... If you spend 2.5 hours on your phone each day, you are Satan, I guess. There wasn't a category for that one. Question number 6 out of 10. You often find yourself thinking about A, a certain person you admire. B, how to be noticed. C, how to please yourself. D, how to please God. You often find yourself thinking about...
What was the first option?
A certain person you admire.
Okay, no.
B, how to be noticed. C, how to please yourself. D, how to please God. I feel like how to please yourself is the wrong answer, but it's the one I would pick. It's like I feel like most of my time is spent by how do I do my stuff.
I think... Oh gosh, given the options there, I feel like I might be in D, which feels ridiculous.
No, I mean that's fine.
But I feel like number 1 is like how to be good to those around me. Mm-hmm. And that I can't make that fit into any of those other categories.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that's where I feel like the majority of the time I spend thinking about things is that. Mm-hmm. But the lens in which I'm doing that through is how do I be good to those around me by proxy of my faith is for sure like an element of that.
Yeah.
So like I'm like D feels like, I don't know, feels like the closest thing I can get, but I don't like any of those options.
No, they're all bad. Okay, we're going to go with D for 6. Moving on. Your video game must-haves include A, the latest Madden football game. B, Hannah Montana Music Jam. C, your list is too long to mention. D, you're not really into video games.
D.
Not really into
hate
video games.
that is the right answer from that badge. Because it's just like, no, they don't interest me.
No. Yeah, exactly. You're not holier than thou, you just like other things.
Right.
How often do you bury your nose in a book? A, never unless it's required for school. B, sometimes an hour or so before bed. C, as soon as my homework's done. D, every spare moment I get.
I mean, as a child, D, but right now, B. Mm-hmm. It's almost A. Not that I have, like, books for school, but, like, most of what I read is... I have like a couple podcasts that do book clubs. Yeah. So I tend to read stuff for those podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. But that's an excellent reason to read something.
Sure.
Because you get to participate.
Right. It gives me an excuse to do it.
Yeah. All right. Your iPod. A, is packed with 30 gigs of the latest music. B, plays continually on your iHome. C, is only about a quarter full. D, what's an iPod? It's got to be A, right?
I think it has to be A. I was like, because I the idea there being I have acquired way more music than I listen to.
Yeah.
Which is like I'm not a music on loop kind of guy where I could like comfortably say B, but I have a ton of music and run my own music server because I'm weird. And also, like, yeah, have a bunch of stuff on Spotify and whatever.
But
like,
you're also, like, a very good... Like, you're a very conscious consumer of music as far as, like, supporting artists and everything like that. Like, it would make a lot of sense for somebody with that strength of conviction to have, like, their own media server for music.
Sure. It's not necessarily strength of conviction, but more just, like, the way I enjoy consuming these things. But the supporting people is definitely a piece of it. What's my next question?
So it's A?
Oh, yeah, it's A.
Okay, cool. Last question. Question number 10.
Last one.
In your room, you could find A, piles of unworn clothes that are out of style. B, pictures of kittens and other animals. C, a smiling mini Buddha doll. O, D, posters of famous athletes and actors. I am currently in Dylan's room right now, and I can confidently say it is E, all of the above.
So wait, my options were
piles of clothes that are out of style, pictures of kittens and animals. C, smiling Buddha doll. Right. D, posters of athletes and actors.
I guess go D.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the closest option there.
Yeah.
I don't have
you don't have any of your comic books up right now.
I don't have a Buddha. No, I don't. I abandoned the comic books on the wall. I have behind my head a poster of my favorite actor, which would be Griffin Newman in the George Lucas talk show, maybe. I also got Connor Ratliff and past and future guest Patrick Kottner.
Amen.
So
that's the man I want to transform into. That's the famous person.
There you go.
Make me Connor. All right.
Old Georgie Porgy himself.
Yep. Okay. So, for one, you got 4 points. 2, 1 point. 3, 2 points. 4, 2 points. 5. What'd you answer for 5C? 3 points. Dylan.
Oh.
6. D is 1 point. 7. D, 1 point. Okay. 8. B, 1 point. Wow. Really making a comeback in the second half here. 9. A, 4 points. And 10. D, 3 points. So we are at 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 18. So,
what does this make me, Andrew?
With a score of 18, you qualify for 16 to 24 range points. Don't sit idle. Modern day idols may be creeping into your life. Commit yourself to recognize when you put other things ahead of God. It's easy to let a lot of little things fill your time and cloud your focus, but God gave you his very best. So don't give him any of your leftovers.
Wow. Okay.
I'm definitely gonna get idol alert.
That's only because you like video games.
I know.
Like,
and I said I think more about pleasing myself than God. I think because of the.
Oh, right. I mean, that was right. That was the other one where I had a big swing. But like, also, just for clarification, is Hannah Montana worth more points than Madden?
Let me check. That's 7. A is worth 2. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 7. A is worth 3. No, they're worth the same.
Ah, okay. So I was really hoping
2 of them are 3.
I was hoping each of the questions had a 1 point, a 2 point, a 3 point, and a 4 point. And I was like, man, are they going to be like, Hannah Montana's a person, so she's worth more than sports with her abstract.
I would really
also,
like
we
to
hate
see
women.
that.
We're focused on the family.
So for Idol Alert, 25 or higher, A lot of things are trying to pull your attention away from God. Money, popularity, gadgets may be fun for a while, but they will leave you feeling empty. What good is it for a man to gain the whole world, let forfeit his very self? Luke 9:25 says, "Ask God to forgive you for ignoring him. Then honor the incredible hero who gave his life for you."
Wow. All right.
I need to go pray, folks.
Yeah. Well, I think on that note, we're done with this episode of Candid Commentaries Clubhouse Edition.
Love it.
If you hated this, let us know.
Otherwise,
if you liked us, let us know. If we don't hear from you, we're probably just going to do it again.
Yeah.
Because this was fun, and I at least did not expend everything in my issue, and also I have a year's worth of these.
Yep. Though I'm greatly looking forward to the tidbits I will learn about crocodiles and God from future episodes covering Clubhouse Magazine.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. That was great.
And now I'm pressing stop.